I think we should go post up by the river. Stay still. You're joking. In the presence of a wild horse, your head feels elevated and there's an exhilaration because they're so powerful and so wild. You don't know what they're gonna do. So you're just like, there's like an exhilaration.
The golden sun was just beginning to grace the Earth's desert, our eyes still foggy with the efforts of the day before. My sister Amelia, my husband Eric, and myself spent all day the day before in search of these wild horses, not knowing where they would be, what path they would take. But we joined in love and exploration, catching just elusive glimpses of these amazing creatures.
So pretty.
There was no way of knowing if our search would end in the vision we were beholding in our minds. A fantasy of what I could witness kept trying to grab hold of my reality full of peace. In our search for the wild horses of the Salt River, my heart ached to see them at their holiest, wading, splashing, grounded in their power. Golden, misty morning light, kissing their backs as the river water glistens, dripping from their muzzles. A great image, yes? I began to catch myself being swept away by this notion of expectation. Who am I to expect anything from a wild horse? Or anything for that matter? There was a moment where our hope started to flicker and fade. We thought we had lost our chance to see them this trip.
I lost him.
This is where I remembered that they owe me nothing. I sat there by the riverbank, returning quickly to gratitude. The beauty we were surrounded by, this oasis in the desert. In the frustration of things seemingly not going our way, it could have been so easy to try and place blame on something outside myself, but instead chose to see the beauty in the love that was being poured into this. I turned to my appreciation of Eric,
You're the best husband
the most
ever.
dedicated partner, putting all of his love and devotion into helping me in this quest.
I got you, babe. What do you need? I'll hold your hat. whatever you need.
Love you.
Together, gazing upon the river, we were soaked in gratitude to just be there with one another. Yeah, I think we should go post up by the river. Yeah, somewhere near where you saw them last.
It looked like they were just crossing the river. But not, unfortunately.
I felt as though my intuition was muddied by the underlying expectations to let go of. So I turned to Eric to choose our next steps.
Oh, they're right here. They're right here.
He led us downriver, just about a half a mile, and came up on a thicket of trees, in which were in fact full of horses. This is where the fairy tale of the morning began. While making our way safely to the water, we spotted our first horse crossing the river. My head started to buzz.
When I'm in the presence of a wild horse, and there's this elated, buzzy, like you feel very light, like high, you know, your head feels elevated, and there's an exhilaration because they're so powerful and so wild. Just a really cool feeling being around an animal that is just so raw and powerful, and yet so gentle and connected.
After finding a distanced place in the cool water, my heart pounded at the sight of dozens of horses emerging from the trees.
I love that sound.
and being lost in expectation. We are denied the magic and the beauty of what can grace our experience. We hold such a rigid thought of how things need to be or how they should go. We aren't open to the stunning beauty that can be presented to us, the things that we could never imagine, and the things that we are meant to experience.